Welcome to another exciting episode of Talking Beards, episode 187. Our guest tonight is Ray Norcross. It's not really that. It's Norcross, but I did it like motocross. He's here talking about his podcast, Bearding Without Borders. I'm whispering. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Kyle Waller likes this.
Oh my God, Kyle Waller always liked it.
I like this one.
Let's go.
God, this music is so sexy. God, I'm.
Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody in Talking Beards world? This is episode number 187 of Talking Beards. This is going to be episode number 265 of the podcast. Tonight, we have Ray Norcross on the show. He's got a podcast called Beards Without Borders. And as the show description says, he's going to rant all about it tonight. Because that's, that's what Andrew called it when he made the little picture thing. And you know what? I think that's a pretty accurate description of what's going to happen here tonight. I think he's just going to rant about how amazing Beards Without Borders is. I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah, we're going to have him on here shortly. We're going to talk about Central Texas. Let's get into this thing. I'm Aaron D. Johnston. What's going on, Scott? How are you?
Hello, everyone. Ranting implies that it's not a good thing.
No, it's a good rant. You couldn't have a good rant. That's fine, right?
Is it? I don't know. Probably.
We're in this instance, we're going to say this is a positive rant by Ray Norcross.
Because usually it's ranting and raving. Well, ranting and raving is a good thing.
Speaking of ranting and raving, oh my gosh, my mouse isn't working. Here we go. Hold on. Oh my gosh, my mouse is stupid.
See this? Not all heroes wear crepes, but the best bearded ones do.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Sarah Sherman.
Sarah Sherman, so there was an incident this weekend.
There was.
Involving, we'll get into that shortly here. But as you said, Aaron D. Johnston, right there to my immediate, left.
I'm over here.
I am
Who
Scott
are you?
Cora, and this is Alan Eckert.
Hold on. There we go.
That's him. Who's our biggest booster on the Fountain app. But so I'm Scott Sikora. Thank you for joining Talking Beards. You can check us out live over at talkingbeards.com. But if you want to interact with the show and get in the chat room, you got to go view us over on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch currently. But if you just want to watch the show, just go over to talkingbeards.com and you can watch us live over there. That is what's going on.
I think I just lost connection. Dadgummit.
Nope. I think you're here right now with us, Aaron.
I'm here. Oh, hey.
Yes, this is going to be an interesting one tonight. Hopefully we can manage to work through this whole show tonight.
It'll be fine, I think. Well, my internet is like this, usually I can connect to my phone when I'm in instances like this, but it's not wanting to connect very well. I think something about the service in Las Vegas isn't very good today. So we got this, though. We got this.
Yeah. So as Sarah writes, all round objects are now banned from their house as they work through the trauma. So this past weekend, Aaron and Natalie were down in the
we were in Nolanville, Texas.
Yes, Nolanville, Texas. My bad. Yeah, so they were here for Beard-o-palooza 3. Look at that cup.
Look at this. This one.
Yep.
We were there. What were we doing there, Scott Sakura?
We were doing this.
We were
emceeing.
Aaron and Scott, and I would like to say it was an honor, and it was super fun. And I look forward to the next time this happens, because I'm hoping this isn't the only time we ever MC. But if it is, it was a good time. So
I like that. Caped Crusaders. Yeah, no, definitely that. Individually, we've both, individually and individually with other people, we have both emceed events and stuff like that, which it's been fun and everything. But this event was the first time that we ever got to do it actually together. And boy, oh boy, it went way better than I could have ever imagined. And it was so much fun until Aaron almost killed the dog by throwing a Frisbee at it.
So this is the backstory of me killing Sarah Sherman's dog. So we went to Buc-ee's before we went to the event, and they had $2 Frisbees. So I'm like, I'm going to get 5 of these Frisbees so I can throw out. And the first couple Frisbees were, didn't really go as planned. They got stuck in the rafters, and they went the wrong way. Well, we did like a number thing. That's what it was. It was the first person that could yell out the number that Scott was thinking of, and Cole was one of the judges. He said 69, and obviously that's the number Scott was thinking of. And so I went to go give him the Frisbee, and I'm looking at him, and he was like, just throw it to the audience. So I'm looking at him, and I grabbed the Frisbee, and I just threw it over my shoulder. I didn't even look. It hit the ground, and it rolled, and it just smashes Sarah Sherman's poor little Chihuahua dog, and it was traumatized for the rest of the evening.
Yes, I picked it up and I was holding it like right here.
It was like shaking,
rumbling.
Yeah,
boy.
Sorry.
So, but yes, the dog ended up being okay, but it made for a funny story and everything.
It was funny.
But yeah, it was a really fun event. There was over 800-900 competitors, I think.
For sure.
It was something around that. I mean,
somewhere in that range. I think it was like 800 to 900 for sure, but it was a good time. And then there was 2 different kid categories, and my niece and her buddy came to run the Honest Amish table, and dude, it was fun. We had a really good time. I think it just seemed extremely natural, and we definitely ran over from the 3 to 6 time slot that we were originally allotted. Good thing there was no one coming on stage after us, because we definitely went past that 6 o'clock. What's up, Rob?
Rob Dean wants to know what's good, everyone, with an exclamation point. He's asking a question, but he's making a statement.
That was a statement. He said, "What's good, everyone?" He was just telling everybody what's good.
Look who else is with us, Brian Coyne. He's like, "Hey, all you cool cats and kittens." Look at this guy.
"Look at me. I'm a whaler." Look at that. Nico. Wake up, Nico.
Looks like he's dead.
Nico. He's napping.
He's like, this is what that little dog looked like when Aaron hit it with the Frisbee.
Oh, Nico's out of here.
Hey, here.
Oh.
He's like, I know it's time to get on the show.
Yeah. It's like an episode of Coffee with Nico right now. Remember that? Remember when? God, he is fat.
He is not. Shut your mouth.
When did he get so fat?
My mom did it to him. See, we've been walking him a lot, so we're trying to get him to lose a little bit of weight now.
He used to be so slim. He looks like Larry Cat.
He's probably only maybe 3 or 4 pounds over what he used to be. So,
but it's right in his belly.
It is right in his belly. Don't listen. Aaron's all about abusing dogs right now.
Andrew wants to know, is it peanut butter time? Do you still do secret?
Nope.
Peanut butter time with Nico?
No, because here we go. Kyle says it. I blame Ohio for his fat. And that's exactly it.
O-H-I-O. Like that?
Yep. So now we're in Teja, and and here's another funny thing. Like up in Ohio, when I talked to my mom this morning, 37 degrees this morning.
It was 92 here.
Yeah, it was 91 here today. So, but
that's such a big difference. Oh my gosh. Jake McKellis is here.
Yeah. So part of this really great Beard-o-palooza 3, they gave out an award at the end of the show for the best club that
If you
attended
give
the
me
event. And tell us a
Uno,
little bit about that, Aaron.
you tell us about that. Hold on, let me get this up real quick.
Well, Talking Beards, the club got it won the award for best damn club and
Best damn club.
and we got awarded with the heaviest damn award ever. Like
That's what it should have officially been called. The biggest damn award, not the best damn club. But hold on, we are so close to having this up.
oh my gosh, yeah. So anyways, as we were pre-interviewing Ray before the show, like usually we bring a guest in and we talk to him for a few minutes just to make sure they're all set up and tested and everything. And everything, as you're going to see once we start talking to Ray, like conversation is just going to flow so we just kind of got off. And so Aaron and I didn't get our normal show prep that we get done in our 50 minutes that we have before the show to, get everything
Ray
ready.
ate into like 49 of those 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So everything that's a disaster tonight is completely Ray Norcross's fault.
He's going to rant about it.
Yeah, he's going to rant about it tonight for sure. But yeah, here's the Best Damn Club Award. That thing is solid metal. It's painted with automotive paint with a very clear, shiny, glittery clear coat, and it has a 1x1 angle beam across the entire back of it that's bolted to it, or not bolted, but it's attached to it, and it's substantial. But yeah, we won Best Damn Club Award. That was probably the coolest thing. Look at that.
Thank you, Corey.
That's us.
Alan wants to know how do you join the Best Damn Club?
It's a really tough process. We go through lots of checks and balances, and there's stuff you have to talk to committees, and there's a lot going on. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how the official thing goes, but it's something like that, I think.
Yeah, we got chat rooms all crazy tonight. Everyone's getting
everybody
ready.
knows that it's Ray Norcross's fault.
I know. We have T-Had HRD here, and
T-Had HRD.
Yeah. I think Deborah, maybe she starred us, which is cool. If anyone else sends us some stars, send us stars, man. We're digging the stars.
We love stars. Like, we'll be all like, you did it with the stars.
We love it. When you wish upon a star, it makes no difference who Nico is. I think that's how it goes, right?
You did it, Scott.
This is a good question. People were asking, what the hell are you going to do with it? I said, Aaron's probably going to hang it next to his NASCAR hood.
Yeah, I will hang it somewhere in the house. There's a couple spots left. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I have no idea. It's in the car right now. Yeah, maybe it's got to go in the garage. It's quite large, so
it's definitely a secret society. It is
definitely a secret society.
Maybe I should make up a entry page on talkingbeards.com and we can, that way we can really look through all the people
and go through all the checks and balances and
so
stuff. Anyway, but that's about it. What did you do? Anything else exciting this weekend, Scott Sikora, besides MC a beard competition?
No, it was a pretty quiet weekend for the most part. Sunday was recuperation day, and work's been pretty crazy this week already. We're going into the hard week, and
you said hard week.
I did. Jeff's like, I did not get a notification today. I still have not gotten any notification.
The notification thing just quit. Like I think that was like Facebook was messing with it a couple months ago when it quit and then came back. It's gone. No, we don't get notifications for the show anymore. But something that StreamYard is doing, and I have noticed for Facebook, it creates event pages for the show now. We're not creating the event pages, but the event page does exist, and I don't know. Maybe we can utilize it and invite people and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how this works, but yeah, I think that's what Facebook went with, creating an event page instead of just sending out mass notifications. But we're here every Tuesday, 8:00 Eastern. Here we are.
Yeah, you can count on that. And I just was realizing how Now everyone in our costumes, which that should have been another picture we posted. But if anyone's been following us on social media, Aaron posted a picture of us in our costumes and didn't realize that everyone thought we looked like the Hamburglar.
So this is the backstory here. Scott had zero interest in dressing up, and he was not going to dress up unless he was forced. So I felt like I needed to force him to dress up with me because I wanted to dress up, and I don't ever do stuff like that. So we were going to be Super Buckies. So that's where the capes came from, because I already had a Bucky's onesie. I was like, well, that's perfect. We'll just be Super Buckies. And then Scott doesn't pass a Bucky's on the way to Central Texas. And so we ended up in Central Texas, and Colleen, Natalie, and we were at a Halloween store. And I was just walking around like, what can Scott and I do that's good, kind of funny? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be
super villain, man. Like,
what? Yeah. So I saw those prisoner costumes, and they were pretty much the cheapest costumes in the whole Halloween store, which was an enormous plus. Yeah. Super Bucky's, Corey. Coming. You know what? I'm going to be Super Bucky somewhere. And yeah. So that's what happened. I bought the jailbird costumes, and I already had these little capes, and we decided that we were going to be super villains. So then we dressed up like super villains. I never thought about it until everyone started making fun of us about being the Hamburglars. And I was like, no, we do look like the Hamburglar.
Yeah. And we could have easily probably like finished off the whole outfit by just getting a hat and then wearing like the
We had hats on.
Yeah, we did. We could have just worn masks, and we could have thrown hamburgers to people.
We had sunglasses on. We were like the cool Hamburglar. We had baseball caps and glasses on, but we weren't the Hamburglars. We were super villains.
We were super guys and super villains, for sure.
Yeah, we were super guys and super villains. But it was fun, and we were apparently looking like the Hamburglars. But in all fairness, if I was in the audience and I saw me and Scott on stage, I would have definitely called us the Hamburglars.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, and just throwing this out to everyone who's watching, if anyone out there is throwing a competition and looking for a pair of MCs,
that look like Hamburglars.
These two guys are interested. So, I mean, we could probably wear our Hamburglar outfits.
We could. We have them now.
Yeah.
We still have the capes, obviously.
Yep. And the jailbird outfits are in the car right now. So
yep, I'll just leave them in the Forester. They won't even leave. They'll just live in there. All right, you ready to do this thing, Scott Score?
Let's bring our guest in. This is exciting.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be a good one. I think this will go over very well. So tonight, from wherever Ray Norcross is at this moment in time, somewhere in Kentucky, probably. He just started his podcast, Bearding Without Borders. We're going to bring him on and talk about it. Super easy. Nothing to, no dates to remember or anything tonight, Scott. It's pretty simple. So here it is. Ray Norcross. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How are you tonight?
Excellent. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. And just for the record, it wasn't entirely my fault of why you guys had late prep time.
100% your fault. 100%. We've already said it, Ray. There's no backing out now.
Oh, I mean, if it's on the internet, then it must be true.
That's true.
So.
Yep, and we definitely put it on the internet. So where are you coming from tonight? Where are you at?
So I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Actually, it was I've been all over the place here lately. What's up, Yukon? But the home base is in Lexington, so I'm actually kind of just chilling out here at the house. It's been a busy week already for me as well, with the Independent Order of Odd Fellows. Yet my wife was even agreeing with you guys that it was my fault. So
3 against 1.
That's it.
The population against me, so it's okay. I'll just take the blame. So
that's it. So most importantly, how close do you live to Rupp Arena?
To Rupp, I'm less than 5 minutes.
That's amazing. That's where the Kentucky Wildcats play, Scott Sikora.
Oh, Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Exactly. The Roll Tide of basketball.
That's basically right, man. We love that. They got a really good lacrosse team.
They do.
I'll tell you what. I've made a few UK fans mad.
Why?
Well,
You don't like Louisville,
obviously.
do
No, I'm a Florida
Pronounced
fan.
Louisville.
you? Sorry. You're
Don't
what?
cuss like that, Scott.
Oh,
What did you say you were, Ray?
I am a Florida fan
Why?
because that's where I'm from. So
he likes states that are hit by hurricanes. He's a fan of that.
Ooh,
He's a big
Miami
alligator.
Hurricanes.
He loves alligators.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So,
We're thinking
But-
about do that movie about your football team tonight, maybe.
that'd be fun.
What
Bye
movie
You
is
know
bye.
how it is.
Isn't that what it's called? Oh, Natalie
I-
said it was Lyle Crocodile. I guess I was wrong. It's not Bye Bye Crocodile.
Is that a Disney movie?
I don't know. I think so, probably. I'm
Is-
just saying words.
Disney owns everything.
So, Ray,
I mean, Deadpool's a Disney princess now.
Deadpool is technically a Disney movie now. How about
Yeah.
that?
Kyle Waller says, "Live by the axe," and apparently you're supposed to finish that
Die
off
by the axe.
by saying yes. Dye your hair by the axe. So
Dye your hair by the axe. Wow.
you're supposed to use that axe body spray and just saturate it till it just turns like white.
Be the Santa.
That's right.
All
That's
right.
how you-
Be a frat boy Santa. Just cover yourself in Axe body spray.
There you go.
All
It
right.
says Ray Norcross. Go ahead,
Ray
Scott.
Who is Ray Norcross?
Well, it's funny when Aaron hit me up earlier and asked me for a bio. Like, I had no idea what to put in there. Simply enough, like, I'm a member of Mad Viking Beard Club in Kentucky. Have been for almost 5 years now. Yeah, that was kind of my first real jump into the bearding community. Didn't really do any of the competitions or anything like that. It was more about just doing the charity work. I come from a long line for charity. I've been working with the Independent Order of Odd Fellows now for almost a decade.
What is that
Yeah,
exactly?
tell us what that is.
So the Independent Order of Odd Fellows is a fraternal order, kind of like a secret society. We are very similar to the Freemasons, but we consider ourselves a little more blue collar. Our focus is a lot more on the community versus kind of some more of the national picture. So we do a lot of work with our Ronald McDonald House that's local here to Lexington. We've helped out with the water issues with Matt, actually in conjunction with Mad Viking Beard Club in Kentucky, out in Inez, Kentucky. We do a lot of programs for homeless. We're actually getting ready to start a whole new program for a coat drive for the homeless for next year. We're going to go ahead and get everything pulled together for the winter.
Is that just
and we're doing that
there in Lexington for that coat drive, or?
Actually, no, we're going to be partnering with, of course, Mad Viking Beard Club in Kentucky. The hope is to partner in with Lorraine Lodge, who is the Louisville Lodge, as well as Mad Viking Beard Club of Indiana and any other. And I think Beard Mob Indiana is wanting to jump in on that as well. And then the homeless population has really kind of soared over the last couple of years in the Louisville and Lexington areas, and we want to try to make sure that they're taken care of as best as possible. Because there is a lot of homeless veterans.
Do you guys dress like these people?
So not so much anymore. I will say that I have worn the garb at some point for ritual work and whatnot, but a lot of the times we're very blue collar, so we're kind of in jeans and a t-shirt, or a little bit dressed up. Back in the older days, like actually in like the 20s and 30s, it was a lot more of a like a black tie affair when you go to your meetings. Like the men would come in tuxes.
You should bring that back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. When next time you go to a meeting, you need to come in a tuxedo. You can be that guy. Bring it back.
So I had Grand Lodge all this week, and I actually wore similar to what I wear for competition. Just a little more of a dressier shoe than my boots that I usually wear for competition. But we got the coolest oldest member ever. But no, it's one of the organizations that I belong to that I truly truly love, and I truly love what we stand for and what we do. And I wanted to take the two communities that I passionately care about, which is the bearded community and the Oddfellows community, and try to merge them together. And it's been pretty successful over the last couple of years.
You should make the Oddfellow Bearded Club of Kentucky.
The Odd Beards.
Yeah,
the Odd Beards. Look at that. So
and
what?
.com.
Yeah, Odd
Everyone was asking about the guy in the box. What's this guy in the box? The skeleton. What's this about?
There's a skeleton in the closet. So that is a part of a secret ritual to talk about mortality. Ask them about the guy in the box. I can't go into too much detail. You would have to actually join the club to understand that. But it is one of the first actual rituals that you go through, and it talks about life and death.
That's a good one right there.
I like that. That's a little IOOOBF.
Mm-hmm.
I think
after looking at that. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, I think that's something to do with the Masons or something. I don't know. I've seen.
We are very similar.
Yeah,
we are very similar to the Freemasonry. As a matter of fact, this is a fun fact. I usually do a bearding fact, but I'll do an Oddfellow fact tonight. Since I'm on your show, is during the 1800s, mid to late 1800s, Oddfellows were actually the largest fraternal order in the world. Masonic lodges actually used to lend our Oddfellows lodges to the Masons to use for meetings.
Nice.
So Abraham Lincoln was an Oddfellow.
Did the Masons come from y'all, or did y'all?
So we were both separate. We've always been separate groups, but we have a lot of members that are both Oddfellows and Masonic.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Corey says they're such nice. She must be talking about us.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are great.
No, that's your part of that too.
Oh, well, thank you. I tried.
So the most important question probably of the evening: how does it feel to be such good friends with Chris and Corey Wilson? How amazing is that?
It's surreal sometimes. It really is. Honestly, Chris and Corey are some of the sweetest people I've met in the bearded community. And I'm grateful to be able to not only call them friends, but to call them family. See, you've got her blushing now.
I'm blushing.
Oh, no.
That's what Corey sounds like to me.
They're wonderful people, and I'm grateful to be able to call them family. They have such great ideas, and I get random messages from time to time from Corey going, "Hey, I got an idea. What do you think of this?" And then it just kind of spirals off into something. So,
see, even Haley Norcross likes them, so that's good.
Oh yes. Yeah, she thinks the world of them. She likes them more than she likes me. So,
well, I mean, can you blame her?
No, it's always my fault.
Have you met Chris and Corey Wilson, and have you met Ray Norcross?
Yeah, I think I've met him once or twice.
Checks out. So,
yeah.
I mean, Haley's got the right idea. All right, let's get into this thing. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah. So so you started this podcast a few months ago, I'm assuming. You're a few episodes in. You're around almost 10 or so, correct?
I think we're coming up on 8 or 9 now. So yeah, I have to check that number. But
where did your desire to do a podcast come from? Were you a big fan of podcasting and you're like, yeah, this is cool. I want to kind of put a couple things that I'm into together and do a podcast about that. Talk a little bit about how you got started in it and how it developed into what you're doing now.
So kind of like you, Scott, I've been a huge fan of podcasts for a very long time. Podcasts are usually a part of my daily and weekly ritual just to kind of get me through work and whatnot. And I actually did a podcast a couple years ago. That was it was a good podcast, and it was me and 3 other friends.
The Joe Rogan podcast. Yes, we've heard of it.
You know what? I wish. I really do.
Was it called Vaping Without Borders?
No, it was called the Random Hero Podcast.
I like Vaping Without Borders.
There's all sorts of other borders one. Yeah, Birds Without Borders sounded pretty cool. So ornithology there.
Yeah, go ahead.
But no, we did a podcast called the Random Hero Podcast, and we got through about 19 episodes. It was a good time, but it really started going more towards the political side, and
that's never good.
It was fun for what it was, but it wasn't really my thing. I'm not really a political person. And so when we decided to kind of take a hiatus, it just never picked back up. And I do love those guys that I did the show with, but I'm kind of glad that we haven't went back to it, just because I don't want to go the politics side. If they want to go into something else, I'd be more than happy to. But when the show ended, I really wanted to do something else. And so I started brainstorming ideas, and I have for the last, I'd say probably 2 years, just kind of bounced around with different ideas on what I wanted to do, but nothing really kind of resonated. But watching Talking Beards, and really it came down to the influence from Patrick White, aka Crayons.
Yeah, we love him.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah,
he actually had told me, because I used to talk to him every single day, and we had a conversation that he said, you've got a voice that, when you talk, people listen, because I'm typically kind of an observant person for the most part, and then I say I think everything through and then say what I need to say.
Suck it
He's
in.
like, you should. He says that he told me, he's like, you should do a show. You should do something that's going to be.
What's up, Kyle?
What's up, Kyle?
What's up, Kyle?
Like,
I'll be too. I'll say hi to Kyle too. We'll all say hi to Kyle. And
Mr. Miles over here. But Patrick had told me, he's like, you should do a show, something that's going to be, kind of your own love letter to the beard community for what you want to do. And it took almost a year from his passing for me to finally just, okay, I need to do this. And I remember I actually had a conversation with Aaron for probably almost 2 hours one day before I launched the first episode.
Yeah, I was riding to Ardmore, Oklahoma, and I was like, just call me whenever, and that was it. We talked for freaking 2 hours.
Yeah. Like he's making the drive. I'm actually servicing a convenience store at the time, doing my job, and people are looking at me weird because all they see is just me moving stuff around and talking. But
like this crazy freaking Ray Norcross guy, that's what they were all saying. I think you were actually in a couple newspapers that day. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Yeah, they're like,
probably.
Freaking Ray Norcross coming in, talking to himself. That's everybody was talking about it.
If you just put Florida man in front of that, it would make perfect sense. So
Ray Norcross, Florida man, perfect.
Yes. Wow. Says it all.
Yeah,
it's all you have to say. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
But so it was, and it was, after spending that time, because the biggest thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to do something similar to what you guys have done, because you guys, really kind of set the landscape for a bearded podcast. But I wanted to do something that was just a little bit different. And yes, I have to give it to Scott Sikora.
It was Scott Sikora.
He is definitely kind of the idea where I based kind of what my format was. But I wanted to make sure that I didn't step on your guys' toes when I did my show.
Yeah, that's capes.
Or your capes. Yeah,
don't step on our capes.
I would never do that.
Long. Look at this.
We're wearing our capes for you, Ian.
Even Ian knows. He said we're super villains. He gets it.
I'm not gonna lie.
You're a hamburger, Ray Norcross. Don't even
First
say
time I saw the picture, I thought of it.
You're
I
a
immediately thought that.
Well, it was nice having you on the show tonight, Ray. Thanks. Okay.
That was pretty quick. Oh, he's back.
Man, that was fast. So
See, that's how you do it. Learn. That's how you get rid of guests really fast.
I'm not allowed to have pins. I'm not allowed to have pins in my hands when I do a show anymore. So.
Hi, I'm Ray Norcross.
Hey.
This is Bearding Without Borders. That was the first episode. I was like, what are you doing?
So I was, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. I had no idea that I was doing it.
The whole episode.
Yeah, the whole intro episode. I had no idea that I was clicking the pin, and then when I posted it, my wife came to me and she goes, "What the hell were you doing?" And I said, "I don't know. What do you mean?" And like as soon as she says that, Scott Turner from Beard Mob, Tennessee, is immediately in there, and he's like, "Love the episode. Please stop clicking a pin."
Hey,
and,
there you can do it. You can make that you could tie that into some sort of segment on your show. You can make a little segment about, I don't know, you can do something fun with it. There's plenty of fun
Without
ideas.
Borders.
I did do something fun with it because Scott, and I'm sure you remember this, Aaron, because he did it the entire weekend for the Music City competition.
Okay.
He kept asking me, "Where's your pin?" Or he'd walk up behind me and click a pin in my ear.
I did hear him ask you where your pin was, but I didn't know what he was talking about. But that's pretty funny.
There's a good marketing idea for you. Get pens made and pass them out at events.
There you go. I'm actually thinking about that, but there was something else that kind of came out of that because he kept doing it. I turned around and I looked because every time he said it, I would say, "I'm pin free," and show both my hands. And I told him, I was like, "You know what?" I was like, "You made the joke. It's fine. I'm okay with it."
And then you punch Scott Turner in the face.
No.
That took a crazy turn, Ray Norcross. I can't believe you beat up Scott Turner.
Never. I'm pretty sure he'd bite me, just bite my nose off or something. He seems like he'd be one of those guys that just like kick me in the head.
I think you and Scott Turner should fight at the next Moonshine Classic.
I don't know. So.
I like
totally,
this.
Or they could do totally nude thumb wrestling.
Man, why do you got to take it to that weird level? Like,
why not?
There was totally nude thumb wrestling at our event we just did this past weekend.
Why does that not surprise me?
Carolyn Brooks and Josh Barefoot Brains did totally nude thumb wrestling.
Their thumbs were totally nude.
They
weren't. Their
thumbs were totally nude for sure.
Yeah, but I did turn it into something, and I'm gonna try to get this back on track for you.
Yes.
Look at that. Good job, Ray.
Techniques, they're good. Go.
Yeah. So we created a sticker, and it's actually part of the bundle sticker that the bundle package I was telling you guys about earlier. It's called Pin Free, and the proceeds from this sticker bundle, which is $10 for all 3 stickers, it'll be the Bearding Without Borders sticker, it'll be the Pin Free sticker, and then one that came out of the Michael Wallach episode. Can I say it on here?
Yeah, sure. It's fine.
It's called Cunt's Corner.
Okay.
And we're going to split the proceeds from those sticker sales between the Pennsylvania Children's Hospital for Monsters Ball, which is their charity that they choose, for Michael Wallach, and then the other one is going to go to ABR. So we're doing pre-orders on those and through the first week of November for the show.
And then you could just go to, there you go. You can just go to your Facebook page and all the information's on there.
Yes, sir.
There it is. I like that.
But that was a fun piece. And yeah. I took the abuse from it and I wanted to do something positive with it. So
definitely it works.
Hey, speaking of totally nude thumb wrestling. Oh, hey. What's up,
hello.
Carolyn? We were just talking about your totally nude thumb.
Totally nude thumb, yeah.
All right, so back to Beards Without Borders.
So it's funny you say the beards, because the show is called Bearding, but the original idea was the show was going to be called.
I wrote Beards Without Borders like 3 times.
You said it a few times too.
Yeah, once I wrote it wrong the first time. Yeah, my bad.
Totally nude. It's okay. It's actually, that was originally what the name was supposed to be. But there you go. There's somebody that actually already has that name, and He has a YouTube channel, and he uses it to talk about politics and whatnot. I think he covered worlds. I think he covered worlds once. He basically talked about it for like 10 minutes and then went on to something else.
It is Alan. It is not yet, but I will be helping Ray get the show up on all the different platforms he can get it up on. So we'll keep you updated on that.
Yes, please. Could use all the help in the world, and I thank you guys for definitely helping me get that up there.
Oh, I mean, and that's, and kind of a little bit of a backstory tied into us, and with me starting the the podcast years and years ago, and then kind of transitioning it into Talking Beards. At the same time, there had been other guys doing shows, once again, like very similar and stuff like that. They'd have guests on, they talk about competitions and stuff like that. And anytime that I'd find out about someone else doing it, I would like immediately reach out to them, and everyone would be scared, like, oh my God, Scott, we don't mean to be offending you. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm like, I am absolutely here to 100% help you do whatever you need to do and what you want to do. I said, I might have like kind of been that snowplow and blazed the trail a little bit, but I'm like, if anything, the more people that we get involved in this community doing stuff like this, it's just better for everyone, because it's more ears hearing about the beard community and all the wonderful things that we're doing.
Yeah, the more people talk about it, the more people are going to know about it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it brings us more to a mainstream level when you think about it, because I get like we all have friends that are not in the bearded community, and then we share out our podcasts, we share out our shows, and people go, oh, they're doing a show, let me go check it out. And Wonder Twins activate. So, like, I mean, just think about it. We got a show on just about every single night of the week now. You got Craft Whisker or Whisker Craft Club. I always get the name mixed up there.
Yeah. So yeah, we got
them on Mondays.
Talking Beards Network. There's pretty much, except for Saturday now, there's 6 days of show.
And
then on Sundays, you've got the Sitting on Sundays going on now.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
so 2 shows over
there.
Yeah,
there's a lot of news I noticed, and in fact, the other night, Angela and I were watching TV, and I got an alert about another show, and we were kind of watching it, and I texted it to Aaron. I'm like, hey, check this show out. I'm like,
that was the Chattanooga Beard Company's show or whatever.
Yeah, and it's once again, it's very similar to their, but the thing is there's all these different shows, but they're not really having crossover guests. But I did see like Phil was on like a bunch of different shows like over the past few weeks promoting, which is great because their event's awesome. But as a lot of you saw, we covered 17 different events that are going on in October.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like one show cannot cover all of that stuff. And
Absolutely
it's like
not.
Everyone's kind of picking and pecking here and there at stuff. And it's like, that's exactly the whole purpose of wanting to have like as many different shows as possible, more people to get involved. It's like, it opens everything up. It widens the berth. It's just like more people can hear about stuff. And that's more power to anyone that's even watching or listening who wants to start a podcast or a live stream. I am more than willing to sit down and talk and help. And I mean, like Ray and I were talking before the show, and I was asking him about if he was up on Apple Podcasts yet, and he was like, no, I haven't gotten that far yet. And I'm like, whatever I can do, I mean, to help, if I need to, and I'm offering this to you right now, if I need to do like audio editing for you to help you build your podcast, I'm more than willing to help you out and teach you. And I throw this out to anyone out there. Like if anyone wants to start a podcast, I'm more than willing to help anyone and give them all the resources and ideas and, teach them, tell them, share with them all the tips and tricks that I know, because I want everyone to be successful. Because if everyone's successful, everything all around us is going to be a greater and better place.
Oh, absolutely. And not just that, we're spreading the word about what we do in our community, but it also helps to put a highlight on the charities that we work with, and that's kind of the big thing that's what we do. That's the whole premise of what we do inside our community is, we dress up. We, like the Hamburglar or whatever. But
What's this wee stuff? Do you have a frog in your pocket? You don't look
you
like
dress
a
up like the Hamburglar? Wow, that's good to know.
you know what? I'll put it out there right now. If anybody books Aaron and Scott to do
you're going to come as Grimace.
job, I will come as Grimace.
I like that.
So, the three of us together, we could have some fun. But
see, here's another idea: baking and bearding, like as Sarah Sherman writes, and we've even joked about it with help me out, Aaron. Come on.
Oh, Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
Yeah,
baking
Jim Jones.
show too.
He's doing one. That was actually what I was thinking about, and he looks like he has a lot of fun with that.
Jim Jones definitely has a lot of fun with everything he does in his entire life.
Jim Jones is a very special. He's a legend in our community.
He's the 2022 Beardsman of the Year,
and I was so happy to be there for that, to see that. Like it was definitely well deserved. So, and I mean, Barracks Project, didn't they just put up today how much they were able to raise for the Barracks Project?
Over $10,000, yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Cincinnati.
Somebody dropped a pen or clicked the pen when you gave the amount. What was it?
About $10,000.
Oh, all right.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, it's right there. Their club just raised over $10,000. All right, cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so back to Bearding Without Borders, not to be confused.
Hey, there we go.
When does it come on? And just tell us a little bit about what you talk about on your show.
So we're on every Thursday night at 7:00.
Okay.
Sometimes we run a little bit late, just like everybody else, but we will be doing some special times next week because I have two very special guests on for next week's show. It'll be at 7:00 on Friday for a change.
Nice.
But so the whole concept of our show is to talk about people's journey into the bearded community, why they choose the charities that they work with, and what resonates with them, what changed, what kind of changed their outlook and their perception in life with the work that they've done so far in the community, and where do they plan to go. That's kind of our whole concept is we want to tell people's story. Doesn't matter what club you're with. It doesn't matter who you necessarily affiliate to. It's you. Like, I want to talk to the individual, not to the club itself.
Hold on.
You're good. Go ahead, Ray.
You got to take on. So, but it's one of those things. I really wanted to highlight some of these people that we have in our community that they may be tied to a club, but people, when they talk to them, they go, "Oh, it's Taxi Phil from Cincinnati Beard Barons." It's like, no, that's Taxi Phil.
Right.
Like, there is so much to Taxi, and I know that you guys have probably had several conversations with him over the years.
There's a lot with that guy.
There really is, and there's a story, like just the 30 to 40 minute episode that I did with him. Like, we ended up sitting for almost 2 hours after the episode, just talking and getting all his stories. And
you should have just kept letting it run.
I really should have.
Yeah,
but he didn't even go into that until we finished the episode, and then he's like, "Well, let me tell you about this time that I met, King Charles and all this other stuff." And it's just like, whoa. It's like, why did you not bring this on the show?
Well, and that's the thing is, for all the years that we've known Phil and talked to him, it's like anytime you see him and talk to him, you're unleashing a totally new story that you had no idea that was there.
And it's great, but that's the thing is, like, that's what I want to tell is I want to tell people's story about what they're doing. And a lot of my episodes have been similar to what you guys are doing, talking about the comps, because we are in the heat of competition season.
Yeah, there's a bunch up there in that region where you are. There's been several here coming up lately, so it's not over yet. So.
Like you guys had Beard-o-palooza in Texas this past weekend. We had the Peru Fall Festival Beard Bash from Beard Mob, Indiana. I think they raised a little over $2,000 this weekend, and a very small comp for their first annual comp there, and they killed it. They had a great turnout.
A lot of people that went to that thing. That was
good. So we have Ian in the chat room. Ian, what was the amount you guys raised?
Yeah, Ian, do you have a total final?
Yeah, please.
But yeah, no, I mean, and when I first started doing the podcast, that was kind of like the whole thing of like, as I started talking to people like individually, and like you'd hear so many interesting stories and so many interesting backstories about how they got involved in the bearding community and or how they got involved with the specific charity. And it was always like really good, touching stories. And it was like, it just kind of like led it where it was, I liked, at least for me, for the transformation of going from kind of like what you're doing now. And I totally love that you're focusing individually on people. Like by what we evolved to into Talking Beards, I wanted to do more like more like all around events and talk to like one person that's part of the organization of these events and stuff like that. So we get like more of a bigger picture. I like the individual, and that's what I find the difference between the podcasting compared to the live stream. The podcasting is like so much more individualized and specific, whereas the live stream, which what we do is more of a broader, like event-based kind of thing and news. And, that's kind of like, I wanted to do a show with Aaron. I mean, and to do like an individualized interview show with one person, we could have done it, but it just would have been a little bit too chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas doing it in this format as a news show, it's like, it works so much better. So, I mean, someday I'll go back to doing individual interviews, but
one day.
But you know what? You guys cover so much. You guys cover so much for the time slot that you have, and you guys do a great job with it. And that's why I wanted to do something that was a little more on the personal, because you're right. Podcasting is definitely built for more of a personalized setup. And that's something that I've really enjoyed so far, is being able to have those sit down conversations. And I'm going to leave the whole covering the events thing to the professionals, the dynamic duo, the Wonder Twins.
You can cover as many of the events as you want to, but you started talking about that a little bit. People's origin stories. We have a little bit of time. What is your origin story into bearding? What got you into this community? Because you used to be like in the vape community, right? And then you kind of intermingled the two, and now you're within the beard community now. What got you started?
So you talk about my origins from the vape community. I actually worked in the vape industry for about 7 years, owned my own company at one time, traveled the country helping people set up their stores, doing trade shows and selling product. And that was all well and good for the time being. And that's right towards the end of my time in the vape community, I started getting involved in the bearded community. And it was mainly just I had been growing a beard, and I had all these people come by every time I go to the barbershop or I go out. Somebody like, "Oh my God, you have a great beard. You have a great mustache." And they're like, and then my barber was asking me, he said, "Have you joined a beard club yet?" And I said, "What's a beard club?"
Right.
So, and it's funny. I actually get that question now, and now it makes me chuckle because I think back to when I first came in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was like, I have no idea what a beard club is, and he said, "Well, you need to talk to a couple of people." Driz Beard and Loathing was one of the first people that I actually knew in a beard club. Mr. Brian M. Furby was one of the first people that really gave me a more of an in-depth look at what the bearded community was doing at the time. But I kind of started exploring, kind of looked online to check out what beard clubs were. Of course, found Whisker Wars. Me and Aaron, you've had that conversation.
Absolutely.
And
I think a lot of
check
people,
that out.
That's the beginning of a lot of people's origin story is the amazing documentary of Whisker Wars.
Absolutely. I think the question quickly followed by, why is a girl recruiting for a beard club? That would be interesting. So, but so I started kind of exploring around, and I checked out a few different comps and whatnot. And it was actually Beard and Loathing's annual comp was the first competition that I ever went to.
What year was that?
I want to say that was 20. When was? Correct me if I'm wrong. When was Beards Behind Bars 2? Do either one of y'all remember? That was Beards of the Old Northwest. I think that put that comp on.
17, 18?
I want to say it was
17.
I want to say
18.
it was 17 or 18. So I joined about 6 months before that comp.
Okay.
Started getting into the community. So not good with the dates. My wife will probably yell at me here in a minute and tell me 2018. See, she's got my back. So, and that was, but I went down to the Beard and Loathing comp, and I was meeting up with Mad Viking Kentucky at the time, and I ended up sitting down for almost 2 hours talking to Patrick, and that was kind of how I made my decision. Like he treated me like he knew me forever. And by the time we left, I felt like he was my best friend. And I came home, looked at my wife, and I was like, I just met this really cool, big bearded guy, and I think I'm joining this club now.
So I could go back and be like, dude, that's exactly the same story I had. I met a cool, big bearded guy, and I think I'm joining a bearded club now.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of people's stories.
It really is. I'm a little cookie cutter on that level, but thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
So, it was a lot of fun though, and it opened a whole different world to me, but it was my time in the vape industry and in that community that really kind of I draw a lot of parallels between the two, because in the vape world at the time there was different teams for different sponsored people. There was, like little cliques, so to speak. And then, so transferring that over to the bearded community, we have clubs. And I did belong to a team in the vape community. I was a sponsored member and a sales rep for a company, but I wanted to, thanks guys.
The little clicks. Little clicks.
The little clicks.
Little clicks, yep.
But I wanted, I wanted to show everybody proper respect and love and attention when I came over here. I wanted to do something different than what we did in the vape community, and that was where the first kind of, I guess, the birth of the idea of the show came from. Was I saw this community, like, as no matter what club you were a part of or whatnot, you guys come together and we would work together and we would do great things for our communities. I was like, we should really embrace that and hold on to what we have. So the clicking kind of got me off base there. Thanks, Eric.
You're good.
No, so okay, so now tying this kind of into current times and what you're currently working on, like what projects are you currently working on right now, like event wise and stuff like that?
So right now, we are currently in the month of October, which is Monsters Ball for Mad Viking. We have done what we're calling Monstober, and it is a month that's dedicated to the lead up to Monsters Ball. We started with Michael Wallach as our first episode to kind of kick it off. We had Brian Tyler on last week, who is the vice president for the international board at Mad Viking. I have Brandon Barnes, aka Crafts, who is the Pennsylvania president of the Mad Viking Club on this week. And next week I've got a special episode on Friday that with Brian Tyler and Scott Handy.
Nice.
To go over the Pennsylvania Children's Hospital, the whole project, why Monsters Ball is so important for Mad Viking. And then I'm also working on a separate project called the Mad Love Project. And this one is going to be a little more club focused to start. Never heard of him, Andrew.
Yeah.
Brian Tyler.
I was thinking it, but you just kept saying his name over and over. And over.
I know. I was going to say.
I was wondering if I was going to get kicked off the show for a brief moment, just because, like, that is y'all's category.
We love Brian, so
yeah,
it's okay.
We love him. If he's you know what, we love him.
He's absolutely amazing, and I love the Bearding for Autism program, and I hope to do some work with them in the future. But so I've got that episode coming, but I'm like I say, the Mad Love Project is going to be a little more club focused to start, and it's going to be centering around the Mad Biking Club community, the chapters. Basically, kind of a sit down episode, and all of us in the same room and explaining what Mad Love means to us and what we do with our communities and what we can do to be better.
That's a really cool concept and idea. That's one of the things that I've always wanted to do, and I've brought my equipment to events. I've always wanted to do like a round table sit down with a bunch of guys and just talk about a topic and stuff like that. I always thought that would be a really cool idea. So,
and I'm glad that we both are on the same wavelength on that. And I actually have to thank Corey Wilson. She's the one who kind of brought a little bit to me.
A little bit to you, a little bit of what do you think he was going to say? Are we there, guys? Oh, there we go.
Oh, he's back.
Okay.
All right. Brought a little bit of what to you? So
Corey brought this idea to me that she was getting approached by people, not necessarily from our club, but from different clubs or in people all around the community that were going to competitions and not feeling like they contributed. They would say, well, what's the point if I'm not going to place? You know, these are the same people that place every time. And she would tell them that it doesn't matter whether you place in the competition, you're still contributing. Everything that you put in to go to the competition, whether it be, you know, just doing the raffles or you're going out and competing, you may not place. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you contributed to the success of that competition. And it spurred the idea that maybe some people kind of get wrapped up in the competition side and forget about why we're really there.
Yeah.
And so the Mad Love Project is a way for us to express why we do the competitions, why we get out and we travel. It's like, yes, we want to win, obviously, because we're competing. You can't say that you don't want to win when you compete. That's just human nature. But at the end of the day, whether you win or you lose, like, I didn't win at all at Big Whisker Revival, but I am super excited that we raised over $10,000 for the Barracks Project.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good feeling no matter what. You know, it goes bigger than just being a competition thing. It's a charity thing as well.
Absolutely. And so that's what the Mad Love Project is really going to do, is it's going to kind of be our story about why we get out and why we travel and why we are willing to put our money forth and do the competitions, whether we win or lose. It's literally just there to help raise money for that charity that we're supporting and showing camaraderie.
Well, Ray,
I like this comment here. Eric Berger writes, I want to do something eventually that makes someone want to hear my origin story. And I just, all I can think of is he put cheese on it. And what else do you need to know?
Right. I mean, Eric's Burger, I mean, he put cheese on it, turned it into a cheeseburger, and that's pretty legendary to me.
That is a great story.
Origin story.
I'm 100% here for that. So,
well, Ray, we appreciate you. We've pretty well run out of time here, and we could just keep chatting with you and keep going and going. But you know, we love everything that you've brought to the table and everything about Bearding Without Borders, not to be confused with that other show. But yeah, Ray, thank you for coming by, dude. We greatly appreciate it. And the biggest thing that me and Scott can both tell you, and I think I can speak for him, is just don't burn yourself out. Like, don't do too much and burn yourself out. Pace yourself.
That is our biggest tip for you, because we've seen it 100 times with everyone who gets
about this in person.
Yeah. I mean, there's been so many shows that were started that were the guys that were super ambitious and got super involved, and
just because you have 15 ideas doesn't mean you need to execute all 15 at the same time. So
and you're absolutely right. And and I appreciate that, because that's what I'm trying to do, is kind of limit myself on what I'm putting out there. So
oh, believe you me, man, just keep in touch. I'll send you my number and we'll keep in touch.
It's official now.
Yeah, it's official. We're dating. But I'll keep you in check, dude. I seriously, like I said, I'm willing to help, and I will keep you in check and try to keep you straight and narrow and focused. And, and if you ever are struggling or having issues, just always feel free to reach out to us. We're here for you.
And I appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you guys for having me on. It's a big honor. I was really kind of thrown when Aaron came to me earlier and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" But
this is what you did tonight, and you did a great job.
Absolutely.
Ray.
So I thank you guys for having me on. If you guys ever want to come on to my show, we'll set up a time.
We will be there one day. I promise.
Ian feels special. So
there you go. All right. Well, thank you, Ray. And the show is Bearding Without Borders. It's 7:00 on Thursday nights on the Bearding Without Borders Facebook page. Thank you, Ray.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye, Ray. Thank you.
All right. Well, that pretty well wraps it up for this episode of Talking Beards.
And no, I've been really enjoying being able to extend these interviews, that we're talking with people and kind of like we've been doing. We've been kind of trying to get different types of episodes where we're talking to last week we really highly focused on the beard calendar.
Yeah, that was the main purpose of the last one, and we chopped it up and you turned it into its own YouTube video, and it's extremely informative if you'd like to know about beard competitions in October. And like you said, we're going to do those every month, even if it's not live on the show. We're still going to cut that episode at the beginning each month, and I think it's a good idea.
Brian's he likes the longer your segments. Yep, we have lots of ideas. It's just the time to execute everything. So,
but
who knows? Who knows what is in store for us? Who knows? But we want to thank Ray for coming in tonight, and we want to thank everyone that was with us this past weekend. Ian and Christina, thank you once again for having Aaron and I out and letting us do what we did.
It was amazing. We had a great time. It was amazing.
Yeah, and anyone who's interested in a tag team with Caped Crusader MCs for an event, please reach out to us. We would love to do it. It would be so much fun. We had so much fun doing it. I mean, it's like taking what we're doing right now and translating it to a live event, which is fun. And it's always great picking on hollers and sea hoppers, and that made it so much fun. But thank you, everyone. Go to talkingbeards.com and go to talkingbeards.com and make sure that you subscribe to the podcast and everything. But mostly and important, go to honestamish.com, enter promo codes talkingbeards to save 15% on your order, free shipping on orders of $35 and over. And make sure you guys, now's the time to start buying to get ready for No Shave November. I've been really pushing a lot of people to try to get over there to buy stuff, and I've also been trying to push people to buy extra stuff and give to people to prepare them for No Shave November. And give your friends the best. Give them Honest Amish.
So speaking of No Shave November, we will be doing the No Shave November beard contest on the Honest Amish Facebook page, like we've done several years, and we've got some cool prizes, and we can highlight those on the show coming up. But be on the lookout for that. So you'll have a whole month that get entered on the Honest Amish No Shave November contest.
Well, I would like to devote a whole episode to that. I think would be really cool. I like
this idea. Yeah, we can do that towards the end of November, and then we can bring on pictures and everything. We can do a whole thing. It'll be fun.
I like random pictures or pictures of Nico.
Like this.
Oh, it's you showing me a picture.
There it is. All right, everybody. Well, we'll be doing that. And everybody have a great evening, great night, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you next week, probably.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, bye.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.